Have you ever watched your child go from calm to completely overwhelmed in seconds and thought, what just happened? No warning, no obvious trigger. 1 minute they're fine, and the next it's just chaos. If that's your child, then this video is for you, because what's happening is not random and it's not misbehavior. I want to say this first, very clearly. You're not doing anything wrong, and your child isn't broken, dramatic, or difficult. I know it's hard to get through, though. What you're seeing is actually a response, not a problem. And once you understand what your child's responding to, their behaviour suddenly starts to make sense. Here's what's really happening underneath the behaviour. Children, especially sensitive children, don't just react to what's said and done. They're responding to what's felt. They are constantly connecting with the emotional energy around them from people, environments, and unspoken situations. And when they connect with that emotional vibration, one of three things usually happens. They can express it straight through. The emotion that they feel, they then express. Secondly, they can react to it. In other words, they feel it, their own past experiences and program kick in with a reaction to it, and that's what gets expressed. Or they can even try to avoid it or fix it because the feeling is just so uncomfortable for them to sit with. Now, this all happens way before logic, before language, and before we see any sort of reason for it. Let me show you what I mean with a moment from my own life. My children were playing in the backyard. My son had a friend over, and at first my daughter was happily included. Everything was calm, easy, peaceful, good times. Now, I was watching from the veranda when I saw my daughter walk towards the boys again, and it was just like somebody flicked a switch. She went from cooperative and happy to screaming, raging, and trying to attack them. Now, nothing had happened. No argument, no words exchanged, nothing. And yet, I watched the shift happen in real time. Of course, the boys reacted and it escalated fast. I stepped in to stop so that, no one got hurt. And that's when my son said something important to me. He told me that they had already decided they didn't want her included anymore, but they hadn't actually said anything yet. And that was my key, my clue. My daughter had felt the rejection before it was even spoken. What looked like aggression was actually hurt. She felt totally rejected. That created pain. She wasn't willing or able to be that vulnerable and show her hurt. And so it did a flip into anger. The anger came out as aggression. If I hadn't understood the energy interaction happening underneath, I would have only ever seen the behaviour. And I would have disciplined, of course, the violence without ever addressing the pain that it had caused. Instead, I was able to slow it all down. I acknowledged what she'd felt, not just what she had done. I helped her release the hurt and the energy triggered that was driving her reaction. The need to protect herself, to fight back, to not feel small and rejected. And we were able to release that. And within less than a minute, I had a totally different child with me. Calm, regulated, connected. We didn't punish the behaviour, we resolved the cause. Here's what I want you to take from this. When your child flips suddenly, ask yourself, what might they have felt before I saw the behaviour? Not what did they do wrong, what did they experience? Behaviour is information, it's communication. And often it's your child expressing something they don't yet have words for. When you meet the emotion underneath, the behaviour no longer needs to shout at you. You don't have to parent this way alone. If this way of seeing your child feels like it's starting to make sense, I'd love to be able to support you further. come and join my Easy Energy Wise Parenting Hub. It's a free, calm, supportive space where parents learn how to decode behaviour and bring more peace into their homes. You and your child both deserve that. May today be better than your yesterday, and use today to create a better tomorrow.